Welcome to episode 3 of Cordial Candor today. If you're like me, you have a terrible head injury, you're deaf, you're in trauma, and you're being overworked to prove you're a scholar, then you understand that you're not particularly well suited to the superficialities of politics, even if you aren't, as I am, a superficial person. So this makes you forgetful, all of these combinations. I'm changing my hat on a regular basis. So I only have so many hats, but it'll help you remember which one you've seen, which one you haven't. Now, what I'd like to talk about in episode 3 is a characterization of me by David McWade, speaking for the New York Times, that I was abused and became an abuser. Now, I was abused very severely, so they have to make something up. What they made up was I had a temper tantrum being tortured, and then when the girl I loved, who I had hoped would rescue me from the disastrous pain of my circumstances, made a mockery of me because I didn't force myself on her in a way that the licky chops was saying, you should. And her attorney said it wouldn't have been rape, and that's what triggered me. I said, you're full of it. So what did they do? They planned to put the queerbait on trial, an adult video trial. And if you're adroit at reading what's going on in Seattle, you know that's exactly what they've done. The Black Panthers even got involved in poisoning me. That's part of the Licky Chops routine trial. Now, what they did was they kidnapped and tortured me. Don't let Peter Gabriel and Robert Fripp lie to you. They kidnapped and tortured me. That's what they did. But they used a woman. They were slick, so they don't like to hear that young people growing up had extracurricular uh, marriage stuff going on. That's Lord of the Flies right there. You know what a bearded man will say. The bearded man will say, you owe your life at the penny line. So they send on the Ripper Hatters to come. It's suicide, you think, to play games with the audio visual material, the axis. You don't know who you're playing with, they say. And they say, well, you figure out who's going to be right and who's going to be wrong. Because we know where lookalikes are. See? Who's right and who's wrong. See what I'm saying? And they know who's still alive. Number one, we'll know you're alive. We'll know you're alive. They will know. And it will be just like starting over. See? There's a woman, lookalikes of the woman who made the script. And they cleverly, clever. Paul McCartney is 90, just like a clever bunny. It's even, see? It's even, they say. So they send in the little girl to Dealey Plaza in the Shinto shrine outfit and use the lookalike in the basement of the police department from the Killers. You see, and you see February 17th, and that's the Two Virgins Day. Martha Gellhorn was wise to it. That's why she killed herself on 2/17. Mrs. Kennedy in her blood-stained dress, and he says, know how much money the picture would be worth? That's what they do when they stick it in my mouth. In the lead up to the COVID bomb, this is supposedly a mental health organization. Sound Mental Health sticks feces in my mouth and puts this picture up. And this was their staff, because supposedly back when I violated the master race by getting involved with a girl who I thought loved me. And Chris Arnberg, notice the ARN, Orn, CARN, Carnegie, where Schulman was ripping off and Schwarzenegger was ripping off, like he's trying to make off with Greta Thunberg. And this is how I won the war, he says, whistle, whistle. arm, it's going to do something about it. And so, ain't they sophisticated women laugh and weep? So that's where the plan on McWade was right there on top of the script. Women also laugh and weep. See, you broke a girl's heart, Miriam. You broke a girl's heart. Now they're going to tell you you're wrong because the KKK can't even hack a queer bait breaking a woman's heart. They say I allowed them to make me a eunuch with benefits because Cialis sort of works. And they put the kick to the queer bait was the old COVID bomb come down. And you wonder, is this really a form of communication? Or did Matt Curry just put the whole thing together because he's a schizoid man? Well, they say Hammer Man. This dude was putting right. They had a SWAT team to arrest him right outside my door. Hammer Man is also the symbol for Seattle Art Museum. So you got to understand that Seattle is coming from copious plotting. See, the Japan coming up out of her crotch is the color of crimson for virginity. See that? And after she makes out, she slaps five and says, "That's one." And there you have it. The two virgins, king and queen. You see, he ducked out to watch from the Truman Show from the sidelines when the sex bomb went off in Charlie Chaplin's closet. And that's what that Sam Malhouse is licky chopped queer fascism. They don't like to hear that. They use physical control of the mind towards a psycho-civilized society. They implanted something. They would not stop at ultra high. And how do you know that they're doing it? Because they deny it. What is there to deny? You can see it with your own eyes. So they have a psycho-civilized society. Everybody believes that Hitler is dead and John Lennon also is dead. But they put it all together with the same publishing idea at Pentagon Disney and came up with the idea of Casper. And they said that I shouldn't be allowed to go to school because I was a troublemaker who would only fail.